Who is in your Premier League 2020/21 team of the season? This is the question that we're asking over the next couple of weeks. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. This is the first episode of this series that we're going to do. Now the Premier League season has finished, and I'm gonna be getting loads of people on to give their Premier League team of the season. It's as simple as that. And of course, the first person who had to come on, it had to be Mike. Mike, how are you?
Yeah, good, Jake. Thanks very much, mate. Yeah, not too bad at all. I'm getting there, mate. Getting better every day.
Good. So Mike's going to give, and loads of guests coming up in the next couple of weeks, is going to give their Premier League team of the season. 4-4-2. I think we've allowed 3 players from each team, so basically like fantasy football, fantasy Premier League, but picking your best 11 that you think that do pretty well in the Premier League. But firstly, before we get into your team, what a season it's been for West Ham, European football, and just a mad season overall.
Oh, been fantastic, mate. It's been, I think David Moyes he's owed so much credit. I mean, he's done so well. And I'd like to have put about 8 players in my team, but I think the rules was I can only have 3 in there. But so I've had to be totally honest and put some in that I really didn't want to, but I've got to really pick the players that I might not like, but I still think have had a really good season. So, yeah.
Let's go then. Yeah, that's for sure. Right then, so we're going to get straight on into it then. Who have you put in goal?
I've gone for Martinez. I think he's done so well at Villa. I know he may have been at fault for one of the goals against us, but I've watched a lot of their games, and yeah, it's easy to be in goal for a team that doesn't concede many goals. The likes, your top teams, like Edison and Allison and whatever, or, the United keeper, or even I think Arsenal haven't conceded very many at all. But, I mean, it's harder when you're sort of a mid-table or just below mid-table team, and, and I think I haven't seen him make many mistakes. He's been pretty consistent all season, and he's pulled off some really good saves. He looks strong in the air. He collects crosses. His kicking's quite good. Difficult because I thought also like Sam Johnson at West Brom has also had a very good season. Another one who's had a lot of practice, obviously. But there's been 3 or 4 decent keepers. The young lad at Leeds as well. I thought about him. He's done really well. I love Fab, but he's had too many little injuries, and he's made a couple of mistakes that cost us a couple of goals. But other than that, he's had a fairly consistent season. But no, Martinez for me, he's made my team.
In a way, I thought it was a very, very good signing when Aston Villa signed him up. But I thought £20 million, it's a bit of a gamble, in my opinion. I looked at it and thought, 20 million quid. I thought he hasn't had much game time at Arsenal, and I thought it was a gamble, but it's definitely paid off for that 20 million quid that they paid for him, because I mean, he's dominant in the box. He's a fantastic shot stopper, and someone that I would love to see. I would have loved for us to see and for him to come in at West Ham. Absolutely fantastic and very well deserved. And this is the first one I'm filming, and I'm very, very sure that I know, because I've had a few more people's team of the seasons come through, that he's in quite a lot of people's and very well deserved. Right, we will move on to your right back then. Who have you put?
Well, I couldn't go no further than the man himself, Mr. Soufal. He has been so consistent, the man. I've just felt for him a couple of times. He could have scored a couple of goals. He's got one more chance, obviously. But I mean, the guy just hit the inside of the post the other week, and I was willing that ball in. He deserved to go. But his job is not scoring goals. He's given a lot of assists. He's been really, really consistent. He doesn't put in many 8 or 9 out of 10s, but his 7s and 8s, his 6, 7s and 8s consistently. He's made no blunders towards a goal, and he just gives everything he got. He rolls his sleeves up, and he's a real team player. And I think he's the bargain of the season. Full stop.
Fantastic player, and I hope he's definitely in mine, and I hope that he is in many people's team of the seasons, because I mean, we bought him in October, his first game. I thought, wow, he's put him straight in there. David Moyes must have a bit of trust in him. 5 million quid, bang, Leicester game, looked like he'd been there, and people said it, commentators said it, pundits said it, fans said it after that Leicester game. It looked like him and Souček had been there for years, and he'd been there for a matter of days. Absolutely fantastic. You cannot fault the man. Yeah, as you said, he doesn't put in many 9s and 10s, but he doesn't make mistakes, and that is the thing. And he's such a reliable force, because I think we needed that kind of player, because Ryan Fredericks just wasn't cutting it defensively. But you can't fault the man, and absolutely fantastic signing yet again from David Moyes. And let's hope that he does exactly the same next season. And I mean, he's going to see you. We're filming this before the game on Sunday, but he's going to see you. He's going to see the West Ham fans on Sunday for the first time, which is going to be great. But go, Mike. Next player, who have you gone for at the centre back position?
Well, in the centre back position, although this guy might not have played every game as a centre back, he's only played a few games as a centre back, but he's played in a back three quite often. And I think Luke Ayling of Leeds has been so consistent this season. He's so good on the ball. And Leeds, they've been a breath of fresh air for the Premier League this year. Play some lovely football, but they play it out from the bank. He never panics. I think he's one of the most improved footballers in that league. I can remember him playing at Wincanton not so long ago in a testimonial game for Yeovil Town against us. Well, when we opened our floodlights, and he's come a long way since then. And I've watched him every game, and I thought to myself, this guy's just growing in confidence. I think he deserves a place in this team, although it looks maybe a little bit lopsided because of that.
Yeah, fantastic lead side this season, that is for sure, and very well deserved. But we'll move on to your second centre back then. Who have you picked?
I picked Harry Maguire. I never thought he was an £80 million player, to be totally honest. But I'll tell you, when you see how much you miss a player when he's not there, and Man United looks so shaky without him at the back, he organises everything. He doesn't make too many mistakes. He's solid. He's another one that comes out of the back four with a ball and doesn't often lose it. I've not always been his biggest fan, to be totally honest. But
yeah, I agree.
I think United without him looked, very vulnerable at the back, and I think he's probably a must for England in Euros. If he plays with a 3 at the back or a 4 at the back, I would pick him because, he don't always look the quickest thing, but he just gets himself in good positions, really good in the air, got 2 good feet. So I've got to pick him.
Yeah, and I feel we've seen that with Aaron Cresswell, haven't we? When he comes out of the side, we don't realise how much we miss these players. And I think Man United, as you said, have had the same problem with Harry Maguire. It's looking like a very, very decent back four. But to round things off on the left, who have you picked?
I've gone for the Cancelo. I know he got sent off for Man City last week, but what a player this guy is. I know he just wanders off in the midfield a lot, but he's got the license to do with Man City because they just swap and change positions. But he is a gifted footballer and a great signing for Man City. He has added something to them for sure. If that was possible, if that was ever possible. But I just look at this guy. He's scored some screaming goals. He's a good defender as well, and he's so good on the ball. He could naturally play anywhere on the park. I've got to slot him in somehow, so that's where he goes.
Yeah, him and Ruben Diaz have really shored up any problems that Manchester City have had even, and we've seen it this season. Title won. What a player, what a squad they have there. But there is your back four there: Soufal, Harry Maguire, Luke Ayling and João Cancelo. Not bad, Mike. But we'll move into the midfield. Who is your first of the 2 central midfielders in the middle of the park?
I'm picking Declan Rice, not just because he plays for West Ham, but because this guy, he is a Rolls Royce of a footballer. We've missed him in the last few weeks when he's been unavailable. He's come back again now, and I don't think he's been 100% fit, but he's still played well. He is so solid. He gives the likes of Souček the chance to go forward and get into the box. I mean, that's why we've missed him so much, that's why Souček's form went off a little bit, because he just didn't have Rice there to anchor it behind him. He's getting better at every game, and you've got to remember he's still only a young lad. You know, it's I know it was 4 years ago when he made his debut, but I mean, he's grown in stature. I'll never forget when he chose England instead of Ireland, and not one of my greatest favourite pundits, as everyone know, Graham Souness said, "Well, I could never see him getting in the England team." Well, little does he know now, I think he's probably one of the first names that Gareth Southgate's going to put down on that sheet. I really do. I think he relies on him, and that's how good he is. He relies on him. So Declan makes it for me. Just a shame he's got that injury, but he's back now, so we've got a chance to say goodbye.
Massive presence in there, and as you said, helps out other players massively. He's got to go in there, and Mike has put him in there. But who's your second of your two central midfielders?
I'm going for Gundogan. I was going to pick Souček, but
you held off.
I did. Yeah, I had him down there, and I crossed him out, and I picked other people, and I crossed them out. But if you look around, I mean, it would have been De Bruyne, because he is total quality, but he's missed a lot of games this year as well through injury. But Gundogan has stepped up. He's slipped into that false nine role at times. He is quality footballer. He's so good on the ball, and he makes things happen for Man City. I had to pick him in the end, and then he balances it up nicely as well when we see the rest of my midfield. Yeah,
definitely. And to be honest, any Man City player you pick could probably easily have an excuse to get in this side, because what a team they are. But we'll move out, because we are playing a 4-4-2 formation. We're going to go up to the right midfield. Who have you gone for?
I've gone for Mason Mount. I think he's had a terrific season for Chelsea. When Tuchel come in at the start, where he didn't pick him straight away, I know, but I think he soon realised what a talent he had on his hands there. This guy, for me, is another must pick for England in the Euros. He makes things happen. He's another young lad who's getting better with every game, and for me, he's a must. I had to get him in this team somehow.
Yeah, he's really excelled in the last few weeks, and especially this season, because credit's got to go to Frank Lampard as well for giving him the opportunity. As you said, Tuchel didn't give it to him straight away, but as you say, he realised what a player he is, and he is fantastic player that's excelled this season. He's obviously got to be on the plane for the Euros, and let's hope that he can, well, not really from a West Ham perspective, but become a bigger and better player, because he's got lots of potential, that's for sure. But speaking of potential and a young player, let's move out to your left-hand side.
Well, I've gone for Phil Foden. I thought about Grealish, and Grealish was close to making it in my team. But for me, Phil Foden is going to be probably one of England's best players I've had for many a year. I mean, this guy, he doesn't get picked all the time because of the abundance of quality that Pep's got underneath him. He's got available to him there. But this guy, I do rate him. He's another one for me. You know, he's a must for England again. He's again a young lad who's just brimming full of confidence, and he just takes the ball on. He takes people on for fun. He knows how to score a goal. He's assisted many goals as well. I think, there's no way I could not put him in this team.
Oh yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And he's got so much potential. Just look, he's still 20 years old, and
That's right.
he's got the potential of being the best young player England have had for a long, long time. Because it's like Declan Rice as well. These players, they're still really, really young. And look at he's getting into Manchester City side, probably one of the best teams, the best squads, let's say, that the Premier League has seen for a long, long time, that English football has seen for a long, long time, and he's
I think
getting there. Yes,
Pep's done it right, because he's not, he's brought him in at the right times. He's probably he sees more of him than we do. He watches him in training every day, and he knows where he is with his game all the time. And he's left him out a few games. He's brought him in here and there. I mean, City have played so many games, haven't they? They've got involved with all the cups. They've got long runs in every cup. They do need a big squad, and they have got a massive squad. But I think Pep has really handled him well, and he knows now that, I think, to be totally honest, I think he's head and shoulders above Sterling now.
Oh, and, Sterling's had an awful season. I think Sterling's had an awful season, and he's 20 years old and he's not even at his potential. What's he going to be like when he's in his peak? Maybe this is his peak, who knows? But, when he's 24, 25, 26, 27, who knows? The sky is the limit for him, that is for sure. But we'll move into your strike force then. Now, you said before, I didn't really want to pick these players, but I kind of had to. Out of your two strikers, who's the first?
Some people won't believe I picked these two, and some members of my family won't believe I picked this as a strike force. But I've had to wipe out of my mind and my feelings about other football clubs and footballers, and I've just picked the two best strikers in the league. And one of them is obviously Harry Kane. I mean, he's off the pastures. I know now, and you can't blame him. He's given Tottenham a great service. You can see he's frustrated with it. He wants to win trophies. He is a goal scoring machine, and I know he plays a slightly different role now, where he drops back into midfield. But he's improved over the years. I mean, the only problem is his ankles. I mean, if he didn't have that dodgy ankle, I think, he could be worth so much more money. But I mean, still, you've got to pick him in your team, because one, you get a penalty.
It pains us to say it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it pains us to say it.
It's dead cert. It's in the back of the net. I know it hurts, but you credit where credit is due, and this guy is, he's on top of his game, and he'll score many more. If he stays fit, he'll score many, many more goals. And if he goes to the likes of Man City, he's going to score a hell of a lot more.
He's probably going to get the golden boot, I do believe. As much as it hurts us, as much as it pains us, as he's a Tottenham player, he won't be for much longer. But that is Harry Kane. And to be honest, I don't think you can get away, as much as we hate them, not putting him in a side. But who was your final player? Who was your striker to lead the line?
It's got to be Mo Salah, the other one. I know I moaned about him, the dives. I mean, you've only got to touch him. But, I mean, we wanted foreign footballers to come into the Premier League, and this was always going to happen. I mean, you can't blame him. It's how he's brought up. That's how they play. You know what I mean? The slightest touch, he's going to fall down, and he's good at it. He's very good at it. I mean, it's rubbing off on some of our players, isn't it? Look at Jack Grealish now. He's fantastic at it. I mean, he just draws a foul, puts his leg in there, and goes over. And it's not cheat. It is cheating, but it's not cheating. It's being very clever.
It's professional cheating. It's professional cheating.
It's being very clever. I mean, that penalty where Arthur's just clipped his heel, against us, and he's just gone down like he's been shot. Like a sniper's took him out. But Arthur's clipped him. He's been waiting for it. He put his foot there.
Yeah.
We've seen it so many times. It's just being very clever. And I mean, we've wanted all these top, foreign players into the Premier League because it makes it a much better league. And with that, we got to accept this sort of behaviour and this sort of, the way that they do it. I mean, Harry Kane's not averse to it either, is he? Let's face it.
No.
And I'm afraid everyone's got to do it. You've got to do it. You can't just, fall by the wayside because we want to be too British. I mean, you know, if that's how it's got to be, that's how it's got to be. You got to win your 3 points for your club. And Salah, I mean, he's done it again, hasn't he? He's bagged all these goals again in the season where Liverpool have struggled, really. You know, from winning the league last year to just about going to scrape finishing fourth in the last game is a bit of a come down from, you know, the season they've had before. But I mean, his other partners have been, you know, misfiring. But, you know, I mean, Firmino went 20 odd goals and only scored 2 goals, and Mane's not really been on it at all. He's gone right off the boil. But you got to give it to Salah. He's still been doing it, and he's still been banging the goals in. And he does get a goal. He does get. Oh yeah, it is fantastic. I mean, Liverpool's strike force, when they're on fire, you know, they are, you know, something to behold, to be fair. But this guy has been consistent again, so got to put him in.
Yeah, I've just looked there. At the time of recording, Harry Kane and Mo Salah are both on 22 goals. That's 44 goals between your strike pairing then. Pretty good if you ask me. But there we go. So just to recap, I do understand this is quite small, but this is the best that we're going to get. I'm going to take that off. So so this is Mike's team of the season then. So he's obviously got Martinez in goal from Aston Villa. The back four of Cancelo, A-Link, Maguire and Vladimir Sufal. That's one West Ham player. I mean, this onwards is incredible. Foden, Rice, another West Ham player too. Gundogan, Mount, Kane, Salah. Whew. That will get you some goals, and that will be a very, very successful team if that walked out onto the pitch. But there we go, Mike. There is your Premier League team of the season. Thank you very much for coming on.
Cheers, buddy. Did you want to ask me manager of the season, or?
Oh, manager of the season. Go on then. Who've you picked?
Well, you won't be shocked at this one either. My manager of the season is David Moyes. I think he's done a terrific job. Sorry to drag this out, but I've got to say it. He kept us up, you know, and then we got rid of him. We brought in Pellegrini. That didn't work. A lot of people moaned about him coming back. Try and be as brief as I can. But I was actually one of the ones who did say, I think he can do a good job for us. And you can ask certain members of my family and they back you up on that.
Mike knows. Mike knows. To be honest, Mike knows because he is the David Moyes lookalike. He is the David Moyes lookalike. So he has gone for his manager. I was going to leave that right to the end. To do the manager and more. And he's gone with David Moyes from the depths of relegation to European football.
Exactly.
I like that. Yeah,
he's taken our club a long, long way, and I mean, from struggling at a relegation the last game of last season to taking us into a European spot, which is pretty much nailed on there. I think he's done a fantastic job. You know, you can talk about the others, you know, about Pep, you know, look at the team he's got. I could manage that and win the league. Yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, joking aside, you know, probably Brendan Rodgers, he's done a great job. But then again, you know, they were up there in the top 4 last year and dropped out. So, you know, I think he's taken the club, you know, it's between him and Bielsa, to be fair, for me. Yeah. Those two have been, fantastic.
There we go. So that is Mike's team of the season. That's the first episode. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you are new around here. Hit the notification bell as well, because we're going to be chucking these out as frequently as possible to get content out for you guys. Anyway, from me and Mike, come on you eyes. I'm not going to be able to do both of us do come on you eyes because we're not all going to have West Ham fans on. But thanks very much for watching. I'll be back very, very soon for another video. Thanks very much. Come on you eyes.